You know it can happen. Everybody warns. You ride in Dumageddon. Here's scooters. These beautiful scooters. You're going to get in a wreck. So you buy a brand new one. Nice, pretty, shiny, smoke gray. Rusi RFI 175, which is Rusi fuel injected. Well, I guess you learn how to drive in Dumageddon and you think you're ready to buy your own brand new, beautiful bike. But things are inevitable, they're going to happen. Then that big truck stops in front of you with that big bumper. You smash into it. Crushes the whole front of your bike in. It's sad to see a bike turned into a pile of rubble. It's sitting here. Rusi dealership. They're trying to figure out what to do with it. But things happen. It's a terrible thing. What do? You stop riding a scooter? Get a car? Or do you continue riding? Become a better rider, a little more aware of where you're at, how to ride. But this is what your scooter looks like if you don't pay attention. It looks so sad and bad. It was just brand new just a little while ago. Wow. You know, it's a lucky thing though. One lucky thing I'm very thankful for. This is my scooter. That wasn't mine. I'm just having my oil changed and stuff, but it's the exact same model as mine, same color. I pulled in and it was all smashed up. But this is my little baby. Looks a little better than the other one. Not a scratch on it. What it's due for its 5,000 mile checkup. So I'm getting the oil changed, the transmission fluid changed, the brakes adjusted, clutch checked out, all the stuff you need to do. All the lights, the wiring, there's a lot of little adjustments you got to do after putting some miles on it. And check the tire pressure, wheel bearings, and all that other good stuff. The shifting manufacturing, because they do take it for a test ride and make sure it's testing, doing this and this right. I know the bike well enough now because I ride it every day. That if there's something out of adjustment, I know what it is. So I adjust it. So they're just in here. And the Rusi dealer, what you do is you pull in, I pull right into this shop. You don't have to wait outside. Park, and then they grab your bike. You go to this counter back here that I just showed. Actually, there's a phone center over there. There's 50 girls sitting out there on a phone center. Back in that office area. And over there is where I bought my new bike. Not the one that's smashed, that's somebody else's. Somebody wasn't paying attention. But that counter over there, you walk up there, you buy your oil, you buy your parts, and then you hand it to one of these guys, and they do it for you. You have to pay for the parts. But the labor is free for the life of your bike. On your way out, they did a really good job and tested it and did a bunch of stuff. And I had a couple things I wanted done. The kickstand was getting a little sticky, and if it sticks and it doesn't go all the way up, it won't turn on the switch for your ignition. So I told him it's getting a little sticky, oiled that up, it's spring tight now. So it's getting ready to go again. I've been a little busy and I haven't been able to bring it in. I was due a while ago, actually, when I got back from Supply. But I've been hanging out with what's her name, and she's a scooter rooter bike rider that you wouldn't believe. And she loves to grab me and go for rides all over the place. So I haven't had time to bring it in. But she's got her own scooter. She outrides me hands down. She knows every shortcut in Dumageddon, her way around everywhere. So I have a job trying to follow her. Oops, had a little white out there. I pointed it outside in the sunshine and it adjusted itself. Oop, there it's back again. And she rides my scooter, and in my lifetime I have never rode on the back of a motorcycle with anybody. And you've seen in my past videos what the Dumageddon traffic is like. She puts me on the back and zooms me all over the place. She goes, well, we're going to run down to this store here. You want me to drive? And I go, okay. I hop on the back. She zips me through traffic over there, and it's more comfortable than me riding. Awesome. Experience here means everything. Don't think you're going to come to Dumageddon and be a Harley rider and zip around and push everybody out of the way, because they'll just push you right into the curb. Learn it, pay attention to it, and respect it. She knows every trick in the book, what people are going to do, what's coming next, roads, conditions. I enjoy riding on the back with her. Of course, I get to put my arms around her. And this guy loves that. So while I'm cruising around, got my arms on my honey. She's driving my scooter. These are all the locations here of this dealership of Rusi. They're everywhere. Just about everywhere I cruise to, there's a couple Rusi dealerships there. So if it ever breaks, they're right there. And what's really nice about it, I ran into a guy here when I was getting my oil changed. He was in to get a little thing adjusted, and he's had his 175 RFI for 4 years. Hasn't had a stick of problems, put tons of miles on it. He has about 25,000 miles on it, he said. He hasn't checked it, but he thinks he might have 30,000 miles. And he hasn't had a stick of problem with it. Just gets the oil changed and all that, because they do it for free if you buy the oil. And so that was a nice thing to find out. In fact, there's his bike right there. He's pulling it in. He's going to pull it down there, and they're going to remove it over to the other side where there's another mechanic. A little bolt fell off it or something, and I remember that's after 4 years of heavy riding. People around here are not weekend riders. When you own a scooter here, it's a daily rider. You're on it every day. Yeah, they're going to move it down there to put it in next to this other one so they can work on it. And actually the bolt that came off that one, this guy goes over and looks at it and goes, okay. Then he walks over to my bike. This is the head mechanic guy. This guy here. Walks over to my bike, checks the same bolt. Look at that. He said it's a very common bolt that comes off, and it needs to be checked once in a while. So he's checking mine. Well, let's make sure this one's on here nice and snug. So he puts a wrench on it, snugs it up. It wasn't loose, but he was putting an wrench on it. These guys are good at what they do. No, they don't put it up on motorcycle lifts. They get down on their hands and knees and work on your bike. They do a great job here. I was here getting all this work done, stood at the counter, bought my stuff, decided I'd do a little video on Rusi. A lot of people here don't even know about Rusi. They get into Yamaha and Hondas, most popular bikes on the road here. But this dealership is bigger than all of them. I think it's made in Japan. But everybody I've talked to that had them for years had no problems. I've had no problems. Everything just seems fine. I figured I'd have a battery problem by now. No. And if I did, it didn't matter because I have a backup Kickstarter on that. I think every bike should have a backup Kickstarter on it. It's right there above that white bucket. So if your bike ever battery's down or anything, kick it. It's even got a little jumper cables up under the dashboard there that say your seat can't open, you can't open the compartments because your battery's dead, and you need to get under your seats for something. Could be anything. You can't use it to start, but it's jumper cables. You just touch them to another battery, and you can open your seats because the battery's under the seat. So how are you going to even jump it or do anything to get your thing started or get a battery? You have to open that seat. But you have an alternate way to do that. Touch it to another bike's battery, and then you can use the buttons to open your seats, put on any flashers, do all your stuff. Awesome. I'm really happy with it. And I'm getting very good at riding it. If you noticed, it's not crashed yet. Most people that crash here are foreigners. The locals, you don't see them laying down on the road, but you constantly hear foreigners. About every foreigner I've walked up to has been in a crash, but they get here and try to drive like an American or an Australian or something like that and hot rod. They get a large CC boat or a bike, which the larger you get, the faster it goes. You got all this power you don't need. You're not putzing anymore, you're playing badass. Guess who hits the ground? Those guys. Oh, I'm going to pass this. I'm going to do that. I ain't going to wait for this. Okay, badass. Have fun. I'm going to follow somebody and beat them to the mall. I'm going to race them to the mall. Or when you're trying to follow somebody, they get ahead of you. Oh, you're going to play catch up. Go around this truck here, over here. Oh yeah, well let's see what the hazards are. Lots of dogs, three-wheel trikes pulling U-turns in front of you without signaling all the time, people jumping out in front of trucks, which trucks are parked, you don't see them. So that's a good time to go haul ass around them like a badass. Well, good luck. If you're sensible, you don't drink and drive, you'll be fine. But people do. I watch them all the time. They get these big bikes. You know, you get something like 350, 450s, 1,000 cc's. I mean, come on. You're in Dumagetti. You're pulling into tight places all the time, trying to park. everybody's doing a maximum speed around this area at about 30 miles an hour, not 30 kilometers an hour. And everybody just does fine because they get educated in the system, and it is a system driving in the heavy traffic here in Dumaguete and Manila, Cebu, and all those places. There is a system to it. And if you try to make your own system and expect them to learn it, you're wrong. Just watch and learn, and you'll be fine. This whole thing, I think I mentioned it before, took about, it was under 30 minutes. I was in and out of there. It's a transmission oil change, or the transmission fluid change, oil change, spark plug change, all these different little things going on with it. Doing a great job. By the way, when you walk out, you hand the guy 100 pesos. Most people tip 50. I gave this guy 100 because he did some extra stuff. That comes out to about $1.76. They're happy campers. Very happy campers. We're getting close to being done pretty soon. I've never had to wait. I've been in here 4 times now, just getting oil changes and some adjustments. And I just pull in. By the time I get my part at the counter, by the way, these parts cost me a total of $22 for all the parts he's doing. So that's the total cost of this visit plus the 100 peso tip. But I've never had to sit and wait. By the time I get my parts, they got it pulled in there, and guy's starting to work on it because he sees me picking up oil, this and that. He starts oil draining. Then he grabs your parts, starts on it. 30 minutes later, you're on the rolling again. I mean, it's the best experience getting something done at a motorcycle shop. I don't know if you ever took your car to a car dealer. You might as well take a pile of magazines with you, and of course you better have your phone and everything else so you got something to do. But this is kind of the parking lot out front.
Where'd my bike go?
And they got a lot of these enclosed bikes.
Where'd it go?
A lot of the trikes in town run on Rusi motorcycles. In fact, most of them run on a Rusi. There's my bike there. It's all done. They pulled it out front and parked it while I was out walking around. Still looks like new. And this is one block over where way back 8 months ago, yeah, so I was staying downtown learning how to drive in traffic, and I had a hotel downtown. And my bike was sitting in a row right up there. And they wanted to give me a matte black one, and I didn't want that. I wanted this shiny gray. And the matte black one is still sitting there. I don't think matte black goes over very well here. Well, let's see what we got here. So we got a little up. There we got it turned on. And I got 3/4 tank of gas. Clock set, everything's working. Yeah. These are all the switches you got to switch to. One place to open your seat and your gas tank, and your on and your off, and your steering wheel lock. And there's the gas tank cover down there. It pops open, and that lid off to the left there. Nope, there it is right there. I keep my keys down there when I'm doing something social. It's not a security place to keep it, because once you keep it there, anybody can jump on your bike and take off. Keyless ignition. But for the mechanic, so they don't have to take my pouch and all my stuff where I keep my key, I just set it down in there. Or if I'm out snorkeling or something, I'll set it in there, lock my steering wheel, and I'm right near my bike all the time. So it's a convenient place, right to keep it. So I'm getting ready to take off here in a minute. Got my manuals back. So I'm ready to scooter booter, put on another 5,000 miles. I won't have to bring it back in here now. This is springtime, so I'll bring it back, probably get the oil change going into, oh, I got a message from the old lady here, or the young lady I should say. What's she saying? Oh, little hearts. Got hearts in the message, and see you later. Oh yeah, she's at work. We'll be getting together later. A lot of things developing. Be prepared. This is a goodie. There's a jeepney. Now jeepneys are being outbanned in Cebu and Manila. So a lot of them are coming here. There's over 100 of them here now. So if you want something heavy moved, they pile it on top, inside, whatever. Doesn't care if it's bags of concrete. They run delivery services now for heavy stuff. And they're all over the place in Dumaguete now. Like I said, there's probably 100. I'll go over to where they hang out.